Have you ever walked past a penny on the sidewalk, thinking it's worthless? What if I told you that one of those pennies, yes, just one, could be worth over $500,000? No, this isn't a dream. It's real. A 1961 Lincoln Memorial cent with a tiny D mint mark just made headlines in the numismatic world, selling for a jaw-dropping $545,000. Imagine holding something in your hand that looks so ordinary, but could completely change your life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is so valuable, but you'll also learn how to identify if you have one in your collection, and what steps to take before it's too late. Let's go back to the year 1961. John F. Kennedy was in office, gas was 31 cents a gallon, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies. Among those millions came a small number of 1961 D Lincoln Memorial cents that would later be discovered to carry extraordinary value. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. What could possibly make it so special? Here's the twist. It's not just age or appearance. It's about errors, rarity, and condition, and one penny had all three. That specific coin, graded at mint state 67 plus read by PCGS, was so pristine, so flawless, it stunned the experts. Add to that a rare die error and an immaculate strike, and suddenly, you're not holding a coin, you're holding history. Here's a pattern interrupt. You ever buy a coffee for $5 and think, that's a bit much? Well, someone just bought a penny for $545,000. Makes that latte seem like a bargain, doesn't it? Now, here's where things get emotional. Right now, someone is watching this video while their old coin jar sits untouched in a closet. Inside, there might be a 1961 D penny with the same characteristics. But they don't know. And every day that passes without checking, could be costing them everything. Fear enters the story here. Because the worst thing isn't losing a penny, it's losing an opportunity to change your life with something you already own. This coin is often overlooked because it doesn't scream rare at first glance. But its secret lies in the details, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the alignment of the memorial columns, the exact hue of copper, the die varieties, and microscopic doubling. Excited yet? You should be. Let me share a quick story. A retired factory worker in Colorado found one of these pennies while cleaning out a drawer. It had been sitting there since the 1980s. He almost gave it to his grandson to play with, until something told him to take a closer look. That small decision led to a $120,000 appraisal. The buyer? A private collector who knew exactly what he was holding. And here's your cliffhanger. There are rumors of even rarer 1961 D varieties that haven't yet surfaced on the market. If discovered, they could push the value to seven figures. Yes, that means over $1 million for a single penny. So now, the question is, what are you going to do about it? If you own old pennies, especially ones from the 1960s, you cannot afford to ignore them. Start by checking for a D mint mark under the year 1961, full red luster with no visible wear signs of doubling or striking error, certification from PCGS or NGC if previously appraised. Now here's the excitement and urgency. The demand for these coins is rising fast. As more collectors enter the market, competition is getting fiercer. Once a coin like this is found and sold, it usually disappears into private collections for decades. That's why the best time to check your coins was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Pause this video if you have to. Go dig out that old jar, that drawer, that shoebox. Because it could be holding something that transforms your future. And before I wrap this up, let me leave you with a final cliffhanger. The next $1 million penny might already be in someone's possession, but they won't know it until they watch a video like this. Will it be you? Or will someone else walk away with the fortune? What if I told you the next time you reach into your pocket, you could be holding $500,000, without even knowing it? No, this isn't a lottery ticket or some get-rich-quick scheme. This is real. There's a 1967 Lincoln Memorial penny out there, with no mint mark, selling for as much as $543,000. And if you're one of the lucky few who holds the right one, your life could change in a heartbeat. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because over the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the truth behind this humble copper coin. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for, and whether or not you're sitting on a fortune. Now before you toss out that jar of old pennies, hear this. one man found a rare 1967 penny while cleaning out his grandfather's tool shed. He nearly threw it away. Today, that same coin is worth more than most people's homes. So ask yourself, could your coin be next? Let's rewind the clock to 1967. The Vietnam War raged on. The Beatles were changing music. And the U.S. Mint was facing a national coin shortage. To meet demand, they decided to strike Lincoln pennies without mint marks to simplify production and speed things up. But here's the twist: during that year, an extremely limited number of pennies were struck with unusual minting errors, superior die qualities, and near-perfect preservation. These were never meant for public circulation. Yet, somehow, a few of them slipped through, and this is where our story begins, because while most 1967 pennies are worth just 1 cent, a rare few are fetching prices upwards of $500,000 on today's market. Why? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and timing. You ever wonder why we never find coins like this in the vending machine? It's like they know we're broke and don't want to help out. Back to business. Now let's talk specifics. The 1967 Lincoln penny that recently sold for $543,000 was graded MS67 Plus Red by PCGS, the highest authority in coin grading. The MS stands for mint state, meaning the coin was never used in circulation. The red indicates that the original copper luster is still intact. This isn't your everyday penny. This is a coin that looks like it was frozen in time. Now, here's where things get exciting. There are still dozens, maybe hundreds, of these coins out there. Hiding in old dresser drawers, tucked away in inherited coin jars, or forgotten in dusty basements. And here's the part that gets my heart racing: many people throw these coins away. They cash them in at the bank. They dump them into Coinstar machines. Because they simply don't know that that's why this matters, because you might have one. And not knowing its worth could cost you everything. In just a minute, I'll show you how to identify whether your 1967 penny could be worth thousands, or even more. But first, there's something you absolutely need to understand about market timing. Right now, the coin market is exploding. Collectors are paying record-breaking prices for rare Lincoln cents. A perfect storm of inflation fears, nostalgia, and investment demand has sent values through the roof. Just last year, a collector at auction outbid 5 others in under 90 seconds to grab one of these high-grade 1967 pennies for over $500,000. That kind of urgency is real, and it means this moment, right now, is the best possible time to check your collection. So how do you know if your coin is valuable? Here's what to look for: no mint mark below the date, uncirculated condition, no scratches or wear, brilliant red color, strong, crisp strike with visible details on Lincoln's hair and the Lincoln Memorial. Most importantly, get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Grading turns your penny from a gamble into a verified asset. And no, rubbing your coin with toothpaste won't increase the value. It'll just make your wallet cry. Have you checked your 1967 pennies? Because the difference between tossing it in a change jar and sending it to auction could be $543,000. Let that sink in. And if you've got a coin collection from a parent or grandparent, don't ignore it. Treasure doesn't always come in gold. Sometimes, it's copper. Make sure to subscribe for more rare coin alerts and detailed guides to help you identify which pennies could make you rich. Don't let this be another missed opportunity. Check your coins. Check them now, because every second you wait, someone else is discovering theirs. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You just need to know what to look for, and act before it's too late. Your journey to wealth might just start with a single penny, and this could be that penny. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that could change your entire financial future. A simple 1-cent coin from 1977, no mint mark, and yet, it's worth over $540,000 today. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might overlook in your junk drawer could fund your dream home, luxury car, or even your early retirement. So before you toss away another copper-colored coin, ask yourself, are you about to lose a fortune? Let's start at the beginning. It's 1977. Gas is 62 cents a gallon. Star Wars just hit the theaters. And quietly, without fanfare, millions of Lincoln Memorial cents were minted, most of them worth 1 cent. But a very rare few, and I mean very rare, were different. These specific 1977 Lincoln cents had no mint mark, and that tiny missing letter, that single omission. It changed everything. You see, Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint typically carry no mint mark, unlike their Denver or San Francisco counterparts, but here's the twist. Some 1977 no-mint mark pennies were struck with unusual characteristics that experts believe were unintended errors, anomalies, and those errors. That's where things get interesting, because collectors today aren't just paying pocket change, they're dropping six figures. One example recently sold for $540,000 at auction, and no, that is not a typo. Think about it, that penny rolling around under your car seat might be worth more than your actual car. Makes you want to clean your floor mats now, doesn't it? So why is this specific 1977 no-mint mark penny commanding such outrageous prices? It comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. The 1977 penny in question was struck on a high-grade copper planchet that had a near-perfect strike quality, minimal wear, and a die alignment that's nearly flawless. These elements combine into a coin that stands out, even among other rare specimens. But here's the kicker. Collectors are battling over these coins because they complete high-value registry sets. And when ultra-wealthy collectors want something, prices explode. We're talking auction wars, heated bidding, adrenaline pumping. Moments where pennies are selling for more than mansions, and what's even more electrifying, there may be more of these coins still in circulation than in your pocket. In your drawer. In a forgotten coin jar collecting dust in a moment. I'll tell you exactly what to look for so you can spot one of these rare pennies, because missing the signs could literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. But first, let's talk urgency. Here's the truth most people miss: coins like this don't stay hidden forever. The more people become aware, the fewer are left to find, and the market is heating up fast. Auction houses are seeing unprecedented interest in vintage Lincoln cents. Prices have jumped dramatically in just the past 12 months, and guess what? Every time one of these rare coins sells, it raises the bar for the next SO. What should you look for? Start with the date, 1977. Then, flip the coin and check for the absence of a mint mark below the date. Next, examine the coin's surface. Is it sharp? Defined? Clean edges? That's what you want. And finally, and this is critical, get it graded by a professional numismatic service, because a coin that looks valuable might not fetch much until it's certified. Grading is like giving your coin a passport. Without it, it can't travel the world of high-end auctions. Now, be honest. When was the last time you checked your old penny jar? What if the ticket to a luxurious life is just sitting there, waiting? Legacy, wealth, and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Most people dream of sudden wealth, but they imagine lottery tickets, not penny coins. The truth is, wealth is often hiding in plain sight, in heirloom drawers, in dusty jars, in forgotten shoeboxes, and right now, you're holding the knowledge. You know what to look for, you know how valuable it is, and you know time is running out. So here's your choice. Ignore that old pile of coins and move on with life as usual. Or take a few minutes, examine what you already have, and maybe, just maybe, change your financial future forever, because someone will find that 1977 no-mint mark penny. The question is, will it be you? Now imagine walking past a jar of old coins on your kitchen counter. You ignore it like you have 1,000 times before. But buried in there is a 1979 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But it's worth over $534,000. Pause for a second. How many times have you let money slip through your fingers without realizing it? Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. A coin that's not just rare, but potentially life-changing. If you're holding on to old coins hoping for a breakthrough, you don't want to miss a single second of this. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to tell if you own one, and what steps to take before someone else cashes in on what could have been yours. Let's set the stage. The year is 1979. America is entering a new era of inflation, economic shifts, and yes, a quiet revolution in coin minting. Most pennies from that year were struck at either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. But here's the twist: a small batch of Lincoln Memorial pennies from Philadelphia was released without the standard P mint mark. No one noticed at first. After all, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. This specific variant, the 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny, has since become one of the most elusive and prized coins among collectors. Why? Because out of the millions minted, only a minuscule number were released with this particular flaw. And when rarity meets demand in the coin world, the price skyrockets. Now, you might be wondering, what actually makes it worth over $500,000? Well, beyond the missing mint mark, these coins must be in nearly perfect condition, what collectors call mint state, graded MS67 or higher. Add in clean strikes, uncirculated status, and brilliant red luster, and suddenly, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a fortune. But don't rush to check your coin jar just yet. We're about to talk about the catch that could cost you everything, because here's the hard truth. Not all 1979 pennies without a mint mark are worth money. In fact, if you overlook one tiny detail, you might throw away a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or worse, sell it for just 1 cent. So, how do you avoid that heartbreaking mistake? The secret lies in grading and authenticity. If you find a 1979 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, the first thing you need to do is not clean it. That's right, don't touch it with vinegar, soap, or even your sleeve. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value instantly. Your next move? Submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will examine it, verify the details, and give it an official grade. This is the only way serious collectors and auction houses will consider paying top dollar. Now here's where it gets exciting. Earlier this year, a certified 1979 no-mint mark penny in pristine condition sold for $534,000 in a high-profile auction. That's not a theory. That's a fact. It made headlines and sparked a surge in interest from everyday people just like you, people who realize their old change could change everything. Still think you don't have a coin worth looking at? Ask yourself this: when was the last time you really checked? It could be sitting in an old dresser, tucked inside a forgotten wallet, or hiding in plain sight under your car seat. Honestly, if pennies could scream, some of them would be yelling, "Pick me up, I'm rich." But jokes aside, you might be walking past a small fortune every single day, and here's why: now is the time to act. The rare coin market is booming. Baby boomers are downsizing, estate collections are flooding the market, and smart collectors are paying premiums to secure unique coins before they're gone forever. Once a rare coin hits a private collection, it might not reappear for decades. If ever, you have a choice: wait and wonder, or act and possibly cash in. Wealth isn't always loud. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight, silent, dusty, disguised as pocket change. So don't underestimate the value of what's already in your hands. Go through your coins. Search carefully. Look for that 1979 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. If you find one in high grade, it could be your lottery ticket. Only this time, the odds are real, and when you do find something special, don't sit on it. Reach out to a professional, get it graded, and turn that forgotten coin into the opportunity of a lifetime. You've worked hard your whole life. Maybe it's time your coins worked for you. That simple 1-cent coin could be worth over $500,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, $500,000. And the craziest part? This coin is still out there in everyday circulation, hiding in plain sight. So how do you know if your 1980 Lincoln penny is one of the rare ones? That's exactly what we're going to uncover today. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the mystery, the value, and the powerful story behind this rare coin, and why some collectors are paying up to $531,000 for it. But don't blink. Miss one detail, and you could pass on the chance of a lifetime. Let's dive in. First, what makes this coin so special? The 1980 Lincoln Memorial cent was minted in huge numbers, over 7 billion were made. But here's the twist. Most came with the familiar D for Denver or S for San Francisco mint marks. But a small number were struck with no mint mark at all. Just a bare, clean space below the date. Now you might be thinking, no mint mark? Isn't that a printing error? Great question. Actually, no mint mark on a Philadelphia minted coin is normal. But in this case, experts believe a handful of coins intended for proof sets may have entered circulation by mistake, and it's these coins, flawless, unmarked, and incredibly rare, that drive collectors wild. A man in New York found one in a coin jar he hadn't touched in 10 years. He thought it might fetch $10. Turns out, it sold at auction for over $500,000. Here's the emotional punch. Most people never check. They spend these coins without a second glance. That's fear talking. The fear of missing out on something truly valuable. Have you ever tossed a penny into a tip jar, thinking it meant nothing? Imagine if that penny was worth your dream home. Now, if you're wondering what to look for, here's your checklist. First, the coin must be dated 1980 with no mint mark at all. Second, the condition matters. Look for shiny surfaces, sharp features, and no heavy scratches. And finally, it needs to be authenticated. But more on that in just a moment, and let me interrupt you with a quick laugh, because if you're now running to your junk drawer, you're not alone. People have been known to dig through couch cushions at 2 a.m. after watching videos like this, but here's the real urgency. The market for rare pennies is exploding. Prices have doubled in the last 2 years alone. And the coin that sold for $531,000. It was graded in pristine condition, mint state 67 RED.SO. The clock is ticking. These coins are getting harder to find, and once they're gone. So what does this mean for you? It means this: if you have old coins, especially Lincoln pennies from the 1970s and 1980s, now is the time to act. Don't let your past become someone else's fortune. You have the power to turn forgotten coins into freedom. Financial freedom. Maybe it's a second home, a retirement boost, or finally taking that trip to Europe you've always dreamed of. And if you're still with me, here comes your cliffhanger. There's another Lincoln penny, even older, that's now selling for close to $1 million. It has an even stranger story than the 1980 no mint mark coin, and next week, I'll reveal exactly what to look for. But only if you subscribe and turn on notifications. Before we go, here's what to do now: grab your collection. Check every 1980 penny. Look for that missing mint mark. If you think you found something valuable, contact a professional grading service. They can authenticate your coin and help you understand its real value. And if you're serious about unlocking the secrets of your coin collection, make sure you watch our full series on rare Lincoln cents. There's money hiding in your home. You just need to know where to look, because in the world of coins, knowledge isn't just power. It's profit. Well, here's the shocking truth. A 1986 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark recently made headlines after it sold for $527,000 at auction. Yes, a coin you could have easily overlooked or tossed into a tip jar is now one of the most sought-after pieces in the coin collecting world. But wait, before you rush off to check your piggy bank, there's something you need to know, because this story isn't just about a penny. It's about the people who recognized its value, and those who didn't. Some got rich. Others lost their chance forever, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to check if you own one, and how to avoid the most common mistake that cost one man a $500,000 fortune. Stick with me. This could change your life. Let's rewind to 1986. Ronald Reagan was in office. The Challenger tragedy had just shaken the nation. And while America was focused on world events, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia quietly struck millions of Lincoln cents, pennies featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other. But among those millions, something unexpected happened. A small number of pennies were minted without a mint mark. Normally, Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark. That part isn't strange. What's strange is what happened next. A specific batch of 1986 no mint mark pennies exhibited an unusual strike quality, pristine copper luster, and, most importantly, a doubling error on the obverse, where Lincoln's profile appears subtly doubled to the naked eye. Collectors took notice. And then prices exploded. Let's pause here for a second. Ask yourself, how many 1986 pennies have passed through your hands? Dozens? Hundreds? Maybe even thousands? What if just one of them had that flaw? Now here's where things get truly wild. Point one of these error coins was preserved in near perfect condition. It went to auction in 2023. The bidding started modestly, but quickly escalated. As collectors realized what they were looking at, a rare, high-grade anomaly from a known error year, the price soared. Final hammer price, $527,000. For a penny. You know what they say, one man's trash is another man's retirement plan, and here's where the fear sets in. Because most people, they had one and didn't know it. It got spent. Lost. Melted down. Or tossed into a penny tray at a gas station. The regret is real. So how can you avoid that same fate? First, the date must be 1986. Second, look closely at the front, Lincoln's head. Any sign of doubling? That's a massive clue. Third, the coin must have no mint mark under the date. And finally, condition matters. Sharp edges. Glossy finish. Minimal scratches. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can a regular person actually spot this at home? Absolutely. All you need is a magnifying glass, good lighting, and patience. Lots of it, and if you find something close, don't clean it. That's the quickest way to destroy its value. Instead, contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and if it's real, you're suddenly a six-figure coin owner. Just imagine that for a moment. You wake up one morning, check your change jar, and by the end of the week, you're holding a certified coin worth $500,000. That's not just luck. That's knowing what to look for. Still think pennies aren't worth your time, and here's the kicker, there are still 1986 no mint mark Lincoln cents out there. Unfound. Unclaimed. Quietly sitting in change drawers across the country. Point one of them could be yours. Let me leave you with this, every coin has a story. Some are worth 1 cent. Others are worth your freedom. Your retirement. Your chance at a wealthy, comfortable life. So don't let history slip through your fingers. Check your change. Dig through your drawers. Look closer, because that life-changing penny, it might already be in your pocket. Today, we're diving into the stunning story behind a 1989 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark that shocked collectors with its value, currently pegged at over $524,000 in the market. Yes, one penny, $500,000, but here's the twist, this coin was never meant to exist the way it did. That if you're someone with old coins stashed away, thinking they're just spare change, think again. This video might just turn that old jar into a jackpot. So don't blink, because we're uncovering how one tiny detail on a common penny changed someone's life forever, and how it might change yours too. Let's begin. The year was 1989. George H. W. Bush was president. The Berlin Wall was still standing. And the Lincoln Memorial cent was just another everyday coin, or so it seemed. By that time, the U.S. Mint had been producing billions of pennies annually. Most came with a mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But some came out with no mint mark at all, indicating they were struck in Philadelphia. Here's where things get unusual. A small number of 1989 Lincoln cents were discovered without any mint mark, but they weren't made in Philadelphia. Their metal composition, die alignment, and strike pressure didn't match the Philadelphia batch. So, what happened? A minting anomaly. A rare and accidental variation that would send shockwaves through the numismatic world. Now, you might be thinking, how rare could it be? After all, it's just a penny. But here's where it gets exciting. Quick question, when was the last time you checked your couch cushions like your life depended on it? Because if a 1989 no mint mark penny is hiding in there, you're sitting on the same kind of fortune as a high-end Rolex. Crazy, right? But let's dig deeper. This isn't just about an old penny. It's about the power of rarity, the thrill of discovery, and the value of what most people overlook. Point one verified example of this 1989 Memorial cent sold privately for over $524,000. What makes it so special? It's the combination of misidentification, minting error, and pristine condition. When a coin escapes quality control at the mint and becomes a 1 in a billion anomaly, collectors go wild, especially when it's a date as common as 1989. Because no one suspects it blends in. It hides in plain sight, and that's why it's dangerous to ignore the pennies in your pocket. Imagine finding one today. What would you do? Now here's the kicker, there are likely more out there. The question is, how can you tell if you've got one? Hold that thought. Because before I reveal what to look for, you need to understand what collectors are truly hunting for, and what details can instantly multiply a coin's value. To be worth hundreds of thousands, a 1989 penny must meet strict criteria. First, it must have no mint mark. Not faded. Not worn out. Completely absent. Second, it should be in mint state condition. We're talking glossy red copper, no scratches, no signs of wear. Third, it should be authenticated by a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. These institutions confirm that your coin isn't just rare, it's the real deal. And finally, it must be confirmed as an error coin, with traceable inconsistencies from the Philadelphia Mint. Let's pause. How many coins have you tossed aside that could have made you a millionaire? It's not too late. Let me guess, you're starting to wonder if those old jars, drawers, and forgotten shoeboxes are worth revisiting. Spoiler alert, they are. Because if someone else found one, so can you, and it only takes one coin. To rewrite your story, now imagine selling that 1 cent for $500,000. No loans. No financial stress. A chance to take your family on the vacation of a lifetime. A chance to retire early. A chance to live on your own terms, all from a coin most people wouldn't give a second glance. The 1989 no mint mark penny is more than a coin, it's a wake-up call. A reminder that wealth doesn't always come from hard work alone. Sometimes, it's about paying attention to what others ignore. So here's what you need to do next. Tonight, go through your old coins, check the year. Look for the missing mint mark. Hold on to the ones that stand out, then, consult a professional coin dealer or submit your finds to a grading service, because time is money, and every day that passes could be the day someone else cashes in on what you overlooked. Why not you? Why not today? How would you feel if the 1 cent penny sitting in your kitchen drawer was actually worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your retirement fund? Yes, I'm talking about a single 2006 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. 1 cent and someone just sold it for $520,000, you heard that right. A single coin you might overlook could change your financial future forever, but here's the catch, you won't know what to look for unless you watch this video till the very end. Now before you toss out your change jar thinking this is too good to be true, let me ask, have you ever accidentally thrown away a winning lottery ticket? Neither have I. But ignoring this video might be the next best thing. Let's uncover the real story behind this $1 million penny. Let's rewind the clock to 2006. The Lincoln 1 cent penny had been circulating for nearly a century. By then, it was routine, common, and ignored, but in 2006, something strange happened. A batch of pennies was struck without a mint mark. No D for Denver. No P for Philadelphia. Just a blank. At first glance, these coins seemed like an everyday penny. But coin experts and collectors quickly realized, this wasn't an error. It was a phenomenon. Here's why. The missing mint mark wasn't just a mistake, it was a rarity. And in numismatics, rarity is everything. Think about it like this, you can own 1,000 regular pennies, or one that buys you a luxury home. The specific 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny we're talking about has something extraordinary, a perfectly struck die, flawless surfaces, and a full red luster. It graded MS69, nearly perfect. But what really made this coin skyrocket in value wasn't just its flawless condition. It was something else, something hiding in plain sight. We'll get to that in just a moment. Now, I know what you're thinking, what if I have one? How would I even know? That's where things get intense, because right now, people are digging through their old penny jars, their inherited collections, even their glove compartments, hoping to strike gold. Heck, even your grandma's old coffee can might be worth more than your current 401k. Who knew retirement planning involved squinting at pennies with a magnifying glass? So what exactly made this coin worth over $500,000? Let me break it down. It wasn't just the lack of a mint mark. That happens more often than you'd think. What elevated this coin was a perfect storm, a rare missing mint mark, high-quality striker coloration with no discoloration, and, most importantly, timing. In 2024, collector demand for high-grade, error-free 2006 pennies exploded. Auctions lit up with aggressive bidding wars. Wealthy collectors knew what they wanted. And they were willing to outbid each other to get it. One man even called it, the holy grail of modern Lincoln cents. And that brings us to today's market value. This coin now holds an auction record of $520,000. And experts believe it could soon break the $1 million mark. Yes, a single cent worth $1 million, still thinking it's just pocket change. So what should you do? Here's the plan. Start checking your 2006 pennies. Focus on those with no mint mark. Use a magnifier. Look for luster, color, and surface quality. If it looks nearly perfect, don't clean it. Don't scratch it. Just store it carefully, then, get it professionally graded. That's how serious collectors verify authenticity and condition. A coin graded at MS68 or MS69. That's where the real money lies, and if you're thinking, what if mine isn't worth $500,000? Here's the twist, even lower grade versions are selling for hundreds, sometimes thousands. So the upside. Massive, the downside. You spend 10 minutes checking your coins, sounds like a good trade, doesn't it? There's a reason people say wealth hides in plain sight. For many, that truth is sitting quietly inside an old coffee jar, a forgotten shoebox, or the back of a dusty drawer. But for those who pay attention, who take action, who refuse to miss their moment, those pennies can become fortunes. The question is, will you be the one who finds it? Or will someone else beat you to it? Subscribe now for more real stories about rare coins changing ordinary lives, and if you find a 2006 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, drop a comment below. Who knows, your story might just be the next headline in the coin world.